10 minutes on the clock. What's that mean? MWOD time. Let's make an MWODing. Great. A question came up on the comments today about I have this hamstring thing that's nagging and don't know how to deal with it. Remember, as we start to kind of think through problems, when we have something that feels atypical, when you have a kind of a junky hamstring piece, for example, you've stretched it, it's not working, you've had ART on, it's not working, we need to think in other terms, and oftentimes you can have a neurodynamic problem or how well the big nerve is sliding through these tunnels of meat, for lack of a better word. When we're solving these problems, the very first thing we've always got to come back to is the athlete organized? Most of the overextension faults we have is when we start loading up 3, 4, 5 or expending kind of 4, 5, S1, boom, overextended. I can get all kinds of weird neurodynamic problems because the nerve is basically tacked down at the spine and then it doesn't floss and feed slack, and I can end up with very strange hamstring problems. Add to the fact that most people have torn their hamstring at some point in their life, and then we sit on our hamstrings all day long, you have a big neurodynamic problem. So when we think about a nerve or an issue, especially downstream, something feels weird, doesn't smell right, I've stretched this, I've rested it, it's still not coming around, we want to start back thinking other ways. We're always working on neutral spine position. This is the most effective way to deadlift, and so as we solve movement problems, always come back to what you know. So, you know, if you're feeling this weird thing in the hammy, your hams are unnaturally tight, chances are you can be making this kind of type 1 or movement organization problem. So let's get you organized right off the bat. Make sure you're in a hollowed neutral position, not belly out, not doing man overextension belly, which is so easy to do. So neutral, pelvis is a bowl of water, you don't tip it in at the front, rib cage is stacked over the top, and so they're like 2 cups, not broken either direction, and a tilted upper back is the same thing as a tilted lower spine, conversely that flex. Remember that once we set up that 2-hand rule of neutral spine, butt squeeze, belly tight, that's the neutral position that I want to maintain under load. So when we have something like this, let's attack this way. So here's what you want to do today. What happened? There it is. Homework number 1. So we're going to just pound out that meat tunnel. And while I'm at work, I'm going to go ahead and take my lacrosse ball or on a box at the gym, and I'm going to set it. And I'm going to think about coming in obliquely into this tissue. If I just come straight through, I won't catch it. But coming obliquely, you know, your sciatic nerve is in here somewhere. You can roll back and forth over it. But what I want to do is nail that meat tunnel down. Doesn't matter. And you're going to count 100 to 150 of these reps. 1. Sit tall. The tendency is to slouch. Be neutral. 2. And you got to floss. 3. Don't just kick your leg. Really feel through. 4, 5, 6. And once you feel something's let go, hunt somewhere else, put it, ooh, I don't know what that spot is where that ball's gone, but that's not okay. And that is a tricky spot. So you still got to collect over 100 swings per leg, really looking at this proximal or high hamstring. The insertion, this is the big engine of the body. This hamstring glute complex is thick. This is the big rubber band. I'm always stretching. So if this isn't working well, I want to get this stuff unglued. That'll help. Okay, so that's homework number 1. Homework number 2 is this is from, you know, that active stretching model that Derek Torres is liking so much. Really what we're doing is getting a little active stretch through. I'm not a big fan of, hey, let's hammer your sciatic nerve and drag it through your back. But what we can do is take up all the slack here and then press out. Boom, press. And right here, I feel a weird something or other going on down here. That's my little business. So I'm just going to press out, and I'm going to press out for 2 minutes. And so I can change the angle and orientation. I can come across my body a little bit. But the only thing I'm going to do is just touch, end range, come out. Touch, end range, come out. And I'm just going to keep pressing for 2 minutes. I don't know how many that takes. It doesn't really matter. But just this flossing, keep taking up the slack as it becomes available. Press, come out. Press, come out. Again, Dirk Herzl, he's the man on this stuff. This is, you know, still end range. I'm still nuking this end range, but then I become active and release. And active and release. And when I have neurodynamic problems, it's a really effective way of restoring that motion, all right? So both sides. Also, when we're thinking of that stuff, we can think about, hey, I want to do an opener, a static opener of my back. And then a static opener can just be thinking about lengthening the spine, drop the knee over to really exaggerate the sit out, and just hang out here. I can oscillate a little bit even if I want and just restore this kind of rotational movement. But what's happening is I'm actually gapping the facets, those little kind of the gliding guide
joints, or the zygoapophyseal joints, the kind of weight bearing, but also the nerve root exits there. And when I have a facet joint problem, I also have a nerve joint problem, or a nerve interface problem. So I can just stand here, hit the static opener a couple minutes on this side, and the last thing I want to throw you is a tweak for your groin. Balance all this business out. So this is my new favorite. You guys have seen on the wall where we've gone straight into kind of big squat stretch here. Let's go ahead and hit the groin here. So my big problem with all those stupid butterfly stretches is I always see people smoke their low backs. But go ahead and press here. Put yourself in tight as you can, and then we can go ahead and really push the legs out. Let's contract, relax. You're going to hit some different parts of the groin that you haven't hit before. And let's go ahead and contract, relax for 2 minutes, all right? So that gives you a place to start. Even if you're not having a neurodynamic problem, even if it's a neurodynamic component, these things are going to work for you. Get your legs unglued. Ready to squat heavy on Tuesday. Talk to you then.